Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Coffee and Tarot Time. So, keeping in my format of storytelling, I thought I would do a Once Upon a Time. Everyone seems to like that format. Maybe because it hits home. It's such a connecting reading. You know, when you hear the stories, you're like, wait, I see myself in that story. And because I read for so many people, I find you basically all do have kind of a similar story, you know? And I always tell that to people who are so unsure. I could edit that out, but screw it. Who are so unsure of their path. And I tell them, you're not the only one. And don't think you are, you know, because people are like, oh, I'm so embarrassed. I'm like, don't, you got like a whole tribe behind you. But anyway, so again, storytelling with the tarot cards has been around forever. That's how it was invented. Well, it's actually a tarot game. And then the royals had their servants take the cards and tell stories with them. And with the stories became the predictions. So let's do it. Some cards are covered for particular reasons. They will not be turned over. Those are not clarifiers. Okay, because I don't want people in the comments saying, why didn't you use all the cards? And if you can subscribe or like this video, it really helps. So I would appreciate it. Okay, once upon a time in a land far, far away. How far, you ask? Not that far. It's probably in your own backyard. There was a woman who met somebody and gave him far more power than he deserved. Now, don't get caught up in the gender, peeps. The story could belong to any one of us. With the star, she saw him through the eyes of hope. We've all done it. We've all made them 10 feet tall. The star is a beautiful card. It's the wish card, but sometimes it reminds us that we can fall in love with someone's potential instead of their reality. Now, I want you to think about that again. She believed he was everything she had ever wanted, long before she knew who he really was. Because, like I always say, relationships always start in our mind. We always make the person out to be something that they even themselves know they're not capable of it. But that's what we do. A lot of people, I guess, do that too. Maybe it's not all females, but I would say the majority. I don't know. Sometimes I feel men are a little bit more practical. So then we get the Emperor. And with the Emperor, she decided to put him on a pedestal. The Emperor is powerful and confident and in control. She convinced herself that if she could just earn his love and respect and his attention, then somehow she would finally feel worthy. Let that sink in a little bit. You chase and chase and chase, and then in the end you're like, wait, am I just doing it because I've been doing it so long and I don't know how to get off this hamster wheel? Because that's what the relationships usually are. They're hamster wheels. So you continue to do it for all the wrong reasons. And you're filling his ego, but you're damaging yours. So then we come to the Five of Wands. And when I pull the Five of Wands, I always say it's not five people fighting. It's usually you fighting with yourself. And she probably wasn't fighting with him, but she was fighting with herself, you know? She probably wouldn't fight with him because she didn't want to cause any waves in the romance or the romance she thought was there. So the Five of Wands is about struggle, okay? It's like get up one morning and you want to do something. By noon, you're like, oh, I better not do it. But then you want to do it again. It's just that constant, what is it like? The angel on one shoulder, the devil on the other. So anyway, eventually the relationship ended. Oh, nobody wanted to hear that. I can't tell a lie. I'm sorry. Maybe she walked away. Maybe he did. At this point, does it matter? The Five of Cups reminds us that heartbreak has a way of making us stare at what we've lost while forgetting what's standing behind. See? That's where women come to me and say, you know, they're young women too, you know. They say to me, but he's the love of my life. And I'm like, nah, I'm not buying it. Because you've probably got about another 50 years left of life. You can't call it yet. You can't call it yet, okay? So I think with the Five of Cups, she believed he had taken the best part of her with him, but he hadn't. She just couldn't see it yet. So now Judgment comes along, and obviously I had to cover Judgment for that reason. Excuse me. She is very proud of her physique. And Judgment isn't about being judged. Judgment is all about waking up, having that aha moment. The moment where you really stop asking yourself, why wasn't I enough? Okay? Maybe I'll name the video that. And you start asking, why did I settle for so much less than I deserved? She wasn't angry because he rejected her. She was angry because she had abandoned herself, trying to keep someone who was never meant to stay. Now, I'm going to share a personal thing with myself because I think I've touched on different relationships I have. I don't speak from just reading from women. I speak from my own knowledge. I've walked the walk already. So that's what I speak from. And I can say after going through a very hurtful heartbreak, I've grown so much that I was introduced to somebody who I knew was familiar with one of this person who was in my life, and I was too embarrassed to tell him who he was. So you will get to a stage where you want to break all contact. You wouldn't even tell somebody you knew him or her, or that you were involved with this person. Because the more distance you put between yourselves, the more perspective you gain. So it gets to, she starts asking, why did I settle for so much less than I deserved? We've all done that. And the Queen of Wands shows up. Damn. There she is. There she blows. And when she became the Queen of Wands, and I just shuffled, those cards just pulled out, let me tell you. She didn't chase. She didn't beg. She doesn't prove her value. I will never in my life talk myself up as I used to. Like, what am I selling here? You know what I'm saying? I'm not selling anything. That's why, even though I've been on dating apps, I will say I've done dating apps, and I think I'm probably still on one very loosely. Like, I'm the worst person. I feel like I know you have to get to know each other, but it's almost to me that feeling of, do I have to sell myself? You know, like when you start talking about yourself, I don't know, maybe it's my own phobia. But anyway, she doesn't prove her value. She knows who she is. And because she knows her worth, she naturally attracts the people who see it. And that's when she realized she hadn't lost the love of her life. She found herself. So I want you to think about what I'm telling you, even if you have to watch it again. Never hand someone else the pen to write your worth. Okay? We've all done it. We've all been there. But you have to remember, especially when you question every text, every silence, every mixed signal, competing for attention and love should never feel like a competition, especially if you're involved with someone who's involved with other people. Who the hell wants to be part of that posse? I don't think any of you do, So I always hope for my girls and my guys who come to me that you have this realization. And there is love out there. So I don't want to just end this reading and say, oh, there is love. See this Two of Cups? It's here. But this Two of Cups isn't going to be worth as much unless you get over yourself, the relationship. You get over your not worthy value. Because we all had it. I've had it. We've all been there. Once you get over that, you will be amazed at what you attract into your life. And who, and the type of people, and the type of men. And one day, and I gotta laugh at this because sometimes I crack myself up, you will not admit you know this person like I did because you're so embarrassed to link yourself with them, And that's what I wish for all of you. So leave your comments below. Hopefully you enjoyed this reading. I enjoyed doing it for you. And everybody, have a great day.